So Libra, the first card you have, your past, is the Six of Wands. Fantastic card. I'm seeing a few different things in this card. Actually, I'm seeing you around some people. I think you're around some people, and I think this was a group of people, and I think maybe these were new people. You hadn't met them before. I'm sensing some kind of test, if that makes sense. Maybe you felt that you needed to impress these people in some way. Maybe you felt that, you felt that you needed to, you wanted them to approve of you in some way. Not that you wanted to show off, it wasn't like that. It was just like, you might have wanted to just make a good impression on these people for some reason. And I think you did do that. I think, there was a lot of nervousness around this. I think you were quite nervous. But I think you did very well around this. I don't think there was any problem around this. And I think that even though you were a bit nervous, I don't think you came across as nervous at all. And I think when this was all over, you might have felt like you'd kind of ticked a box in a way, like you'd passed a test inside your own head. That's what I'm seeing there. And I think also, someone who was close to you, this might be your partner, because I'm seeing it might be a love connection. It's someone who really did love you, or still does. I think they were very proud of you. Someone who loved you was very proud of you. That's what I'm seeing. They were proud of how you tackled this, and proud of how you came across when you were with these people. I'm also seeing you feeling quite accomplished around something that you'd been meaning to do for a long, long time. It was something you might have had to organise. And I think you're finally starting to get somewhere with this after a long time of not doing this. I think you might have had a mental block or some kind of an emotional block in between you not doing this and doing this. So it might have been stopping you from doing this, if that makes sense. And I think this thing might have seemed like a small thing to other people. Other people might have looked at this and said, well, why don't you just do it? But you had some big block in front of you, this huge block. There was a lot of anxiety around this, stopping you from doing this. But you're finally starting to get this done at this time. So yes, you should have been really proud of yourself for doing this, because even if it's a simple thing, if it's something that you have a big emotional, psychological block in between you and doing that, you should be very proud of yourself. I mean, for example, I'm not saying this is you. An agoraphobic might be inside their house for a week or 2 weeks or a month even sometimes. If they can step outside of their house and go for a walk, that's a huge achievement for that person. Even though for anyone else, they could just step outside the house and walk around or drive somewhere or go wherever. It's no big deal to anyone else. But to them, it's a huge deal. And it's a great, big, huge step and a big progress for them. So I'm not saying you had some kind of psychological disorder or you had a problem like that. But whatever this thing was, there was a big block in front of you stopping you from doing it, and you started to tackle that block. That's what I'm seeing. Now, you might still be in the middle of doing this thing now. And if you are, just be aware that there might be someone who might try to set you back in some way. This is someone who might think you're a little bit cocky, a little bit overconfident in things. Now, you're not feeling like that at all, especially around this thing. But maybe the timing of this might be a problem for this person. I hope I'm making sense. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. I think you need someone else, or you needed, if you're still doing this, you still do now, you needed someone else to cooperate with you on this or work with you on this. And I'm seeing that the timing of this might not have been fitting in with this person who you might have been feeling was trying to stop you. And I think they might have been feeling forced into doing this as well in some way. And I know that this isn't what you're trying to do. I know you'd never try to force anyone to do anything. But if you're getting this feeling that someone wants to stop you or slow you down, they don't want to stop you for the sake of it. They're not trying to get in the way. It's just that they feel a little bit backed into a corner themselves, and they have a lot of emotions attached to whatever this thing is as well. I'm seeing that as well for them. So I hope this all makes sense to you, or at least to someone, and I hope it wasn't too confusing. I hope I got out what I saw in that card properly, because it was a bit confusing. The next card you have, your past, is the Ace of Pentacles. So obviously, this is a fantastic card. I love this card. I'm just seeing someone feeling really happy to be with you, really content to be around you. I think this might be this person in the Six of Wands who was proud of you, because I was seeing someone who loved you, who was proud of you. So it might be the same person. But I'm sensing that there might have been some problems between you in the past. It hasn't been an easy year for the two of you. There was one major disagreement I'm seeing. This might have passed, or must have passed actually, if they're happy with you now. But this person who you're dealing with, they're not the calmest person in the world. They can be a bit angry. They can even be a bit volatile sometimes. I'm not seeing violence. I'm not seeing anything like that. But they're a very passionate person. They're a very, very passionate person. This might have been the first time. Sorry about that dog barking. I'm trying to concentrate. Yes, go away. This might be, yeah, I'm seeing, this might have been the first time that you actually felt some kind of stability around this person. I think this time you're really starting to feel some kind of stability around them, if that makes sense. But I'm also seeing a little bit of caution around this. I think just be careful around this. Be careful that they're not just happy and stable as long as you're agreeing with them. You might have done something for them recently that made them really happy. And of course, you know, it's a great thing to want to make your partner happy. Of course, that's a fantastic thing. But it should be something that you want to do. Making someone happy should be something that you want to do, not something that you do to prevent them from being unhappy or even angry with you. I hope this message reaches the person who needs to hear this message, because someone felt happy after overcoming an argument or a fight. They might still be feeling this way now, but if this is resonating with you, think about whether you're truly happy or whether you're just trying to please someone and make them happy until the next time, the next argument, the next disagreement, or whatever this is. I don't mean to put a negative spin on the Ace of Pentacles. I really, really don't. That's the last thing I'd want to do. But I just had to point out what I was seeing. Again, this is a specific thing, and I hope this reaches the right person that I'm seeing this message for. The last card you have for your past is the Queen of Cups. Right, so again, I'm seeing this specific situation. I'm sorry about this. I'm just seeing this. If this is resonating, if this situation is resonating with you, everything was, and maybe things still do seem fine with you. They seem fine while you keep a lid on your emotions, and a lid on what you say, and a lid on what you do around this person. If you look at this queen, she's staring at this beautiful innate cup. She's staring into it. But there's a lid on this cup. Nothing can flow from it. No emotion can flow from it. No water can flow from it. And none can flow into it either. It has a lid on it. If this is resonating with you, just think about what would happen if you just let everything out. Everything you wanted to say. Not just about the connection that you have with this person, but about anything. Anything you wanted to say in front of this person. If you think about that and you feel restricted in any way, or you feel that you're censoring yourself or stopping yourself from speaking, think about whether this is how you want to be. Look at yourself. Think about this. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Oh. Where do you want to be in 5 years' time? Where do you want to be in 10 years' time? Do you want to be in this situation where you're censoring yourself? I don't want to tell you what to do, but again, if this is resonating with you, if the situation's resonating with you, I just want you to think about this and think about whether this is what you want in your life. Do you want to be walking on eggshells, or do you want to be free to say whatever you like? Right, so I'm really sorry about that motorbike. I think I did quite well concentrating, and now the dog's barking. So I'm just going. I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous. Right. Okay. I'm just going to get on with this. I'm going to try and concentrate. So, the first card you have, your present, is the High Priestess. So yeah, I'm still seeing some waves of emotion in this that you could be keeping inside of you, which is the same as what I was seeing in the Queen of Cups. I think you might have been holding on to these emotions to prevent any kind of rockiness or even waves of upset or anger. Because if you look at the bottom of this High Priestess's dress, it looks a little bit like waves in the ocean, kind of going up and down. And there's a crescent moon in front of these waves as well. So the moon obviously can symbolize different moods, moodiness. You know, when you look at the moon card, that's what that's about. So I'll try not to say anything else about this situation because I know it's a very specific situation. But again, think about whether you want to be in this situation if this is resonating with you. The High Priestess is obviously an extremely spiritual woman, and she's a very knowledgeable woman as well. She's also a very, very strong woman. She sits all by herself on her throne. She knows that she has lots and lots of knowledge, all the knowledge she needs. And I'm just seeing that there might be some things that you might be keeping to yourself. You might be keeping some secrets to yourself even. Not bad secrets, but there might be some emotions, some things, some problems that you might be keeping to yourself that you should be letting go of. I don't think there are a lot of people you can really trust or that you feel that you can trust actually. But there is someone who really cares for you, I'm seeing. There is someone who you can trust. You can trust with this problem. You can trust them with this secret. So if this resonates, please talk to this person if you know who this is. This is someone who you definitely can trust. They're a good listener. The other thing I'm seeing about this person is that they're non-judgmental. They're not going to judge you. So no matter what this is, they will not judge you. That's what I'm seeing. So really, I think you should be reaching out and speaking to this person if this is all resonating with you. Yes, that dog's still going. So the next card you have for your present is the Ten of Cups. Beautiful card. This is a beautiful card. I'm seeing two different situations actually in this card. I don't normally see this, but I'll try and tell you what I'm seeing. Usually this card's quite straightforward. The first thing I'm seeing is I'm seeing a blended family. So it could be that you're from a blended family that you're in, or it could be that you're going into a blended family in a new relationship or in a relationship that you're in. Now there's an event, there's some kind of family event that I'm seeing as well. And I'm seeing that people are kind of merging together at this event. Now it might be a wedding, or it might be a special birthday or an anniversary or some kind of event around a family. There could be maybe a divorced couple or a couple who are separated. And there might be some anxiety around how everyone's going to go, whether everyone's going to get along, everything's going to be fine and peaceful, or whether there's going to be World War III breaking out at this thing. If this event hasn't happened yet, if you're still looking toward this and you're thinking, oh, is this going to work out? I'm seeing this running quite smoothly. I'm not seeing any problems with this. This is a very positive card. I'm not seeing any problems around this event. So you can breathe a sigh of relief if you're worrying about that. The other situation I'm seeing in this card is this very specific situation once again. Now, I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'm seeing this and I want to get this out. I want to get this message out because I think it really needs to go to someone, because it's all through this reading. And obviously, if something is all through this reading, it's an important thing that I need to get out to someone. So, yeah, this is around this situation I saw in the Ace of Pentacles. If you look at this card, obviously you can see this happy family. Now, they're looking at this house with this beautiful garden around it and everything like that. If you look carefully, they're not actually in the scene. They're sort of on the outside on this kind of yellow section, looking in on this house. This is what you really want deep down. You want this with this connection that you have, this love connection. You want the house, you want the family, you want the connection with them, you want the real situation, you want the real love situation with them, the real, stable, beautiful love, family, all of that with this person. But I think this is a message to show you that to have a true Ten of Cups situation in your life, if that's what you want, you're going to have to feel that you can be your true self. Show your true self, show your emotions to this person and in front of this person. You can only have a proper connection with someone and a proper future with someone if you can be yourself with them. That's what I'm seeing. There's a beautiful stream on this card and it's leading up to this house, right up to this house. It's to the left and it goes up to the house if you're looking at this card. So what this is telling me is that water, your true emotions, your true feelings, are what's going to lead you to the door of this house. Can you be your true self? Can you show your true emotions? That's what this card is trying to tell you. That's the message of this card to you. Think about whether you can or whether you can't. If you can, you'll be able to get to this door of this house and you'll be able to have this true Ten of Cups experience. If you cannot show yourself, if you're walking on eggshells around this person, if you cannot be yourself, if you have to censor yourself in any way in front of this person, you will not have this experience with them. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your present is the Hierophant. I see the Hierophant a lot in your readings, and I think in this past year, maybe even in the year before that, you could have been gradually moving away from your family's expectations or something like that. You might have a family your family might have been either very conservative in some way or very kind of set in their ways about certain subjects. And I think for a while, at least, you were seen as the good one, the person who was doing the so-called right thing. But then I think you might have come to a time where something changed. Something about your lifestyle might have changed. And this was different to what they wanted or what they expected from you. So after that, I think their attitude towards you was a lot different to what it was once. You were no longer this kind of so-called good person in their eyes. Now, I'm not seeing you actually doing anything wrong. I don't think you did anything wrong. But they had very kind of rigid ideas about things. And you haven't changed to please them again. You haven't kind of turned around the other way and said, oh, well, I'll change and I'll please you. That's not what you've done. And I'm really glad that you haven't done that. I'm really glad that you've stuck to what you're doing, because I'm not seeing you've done anything wrong. And I'm seeing that, you're still the same person and you need to be yourself. But they might be slowly coming around, not to agree with you. I don't think they'll ever agree with whatever this is. But I think they're just softening a little bit. They're not as hard line about this as they used to be. And I think throughout the year, they're going to keep on softening to the point where they're going to be a lot kinder and a lot calmer around you, around whatever this thing is. So again, I don't think they're going to agree with you. They're not going to say, oh, what you're doing is fantastic. No. But they are going to soften, keep on softening, and they are going to eventually be kind and be relaxed and be fine about whatever this is. So you've changed them, which is really fantastic, because I'm seeing these very rigid people, and they're the kinds of people who say, oh, we won't change, we won't change, we won't change, we want you to change, we want you to change. They might be very religious because this is the Hierophant, I don't know. They might be saying, you change to suit me, you change to suit me. And you didn't do that, which is very commendable of you, because I'm not saying you've done anything wrong. But slowly, gradually, you are getting them to change, which is really beautiful. I love seeing that. The first card you have for your future is the Queen of Wands. So I'm seeing that in terms of work, I think you're going to be feeling a lot more confident than you have been feeling in a long time. I think your works are actually going to start to feel a little bit like a sanctuary to you. You're going to really enjoy being there. You're going to like it a lot more than you have. I'm seeing you're going to get some positive feedback. I'm seeing a lot of things. You're going to be able to achieve a lot more. I'm seeing you're going to be able to achieve things quickly, easily, a lot faster than you used to. This is kind of similar to what I was seeing in the Six of Wands, the Victory card. I think things are going to gradually build up for you in the new year and improve for you. I think you might have some side work or a side business that you might be doing, and I'm seeing you setting things up in setting up some kind of system, if that makes sense, to kind of help you to organize things. So it's like once you've set this up, then things will be organized to that system.